Hello there. In my last presentation, we discussed t-tests and the critical values of t and how to interpret the table of those values. And in that presentation, I mentioned that as degrees of freedom approaches infinity, the t distribution becomes nearly indistinguishable from the normal distribution. And so taking that to its logical conclusion, that means if we look at our table for the critical values of t, in this last row with the infinity sign here, these values should match up with the corresponding critical values of z for those significance levels. So let's take a look at that. So we know that p equals 0.05, one-tailed, has a z critical of 1.64 by convention, although 1.65 could be argued if you really wanted to. So let's look for one-tailed, so this, and we're looking for 0.05. So here, we follow all the way down, 1.645. Very close to the 1.64, 1.65 that we use. Let's take a look at another one. Make sure it isn't a fluke. P equals 0.05, two-tailed, had a z critical of 1.96. So we're up to two-tailed, 0.05, all the way down, 1.960. Boom, right on. Let's take a look at p equals 0.01 as well. So for one-tailed, that has a z critical of 2.33. So one-tailed, sequence level of 0.01 all the way down, 2.326. Very close. Would round up to 2.33. And then p equals 0.01, two-tailed, has a z critical, by convention of course, of 2.57 with the option of 2.58. So where are we? Two-tailed, 0.01, all the way down, 2.576. There you go, right in between. So there you have it. If you need to know your critical values of z and you only have your table for the critical values of t, you can find them. Just look at that bottom row right there where degrees of freedom are infinity, and you will have a identical or nearly identical critical value that you can substitute in for the value that would have been on your critical value of z table. Hopefully this is helpful to you in some way, or is at least an interesting piece of knowledge that helps you understand the relationship between these two tables. And until next time, cheers.